In this video, we're going to take a look at value versus place value. And while we're doing that, we are going to learn how to use word, standard, and expanded form. In 4th grade, the standard is to recognize map periods and number patterns within each period to read and write in standard form large numbers through 999,999,999. The previous knowledge that they have. So in 3rd grade, you should have learned the place value and value up to and including 999,999, and also write the word standard and expanded form to the number 999,999. So in 4th grade, we're just expanding a little bit further into the bigger numbers. We do need to know what place value is. It's the value represented by a digit and a number on the basis of its position. So in the example, we see 5,678,923. The 8 is underlined. The place value of the 8 is in the thousands place. So if we're looking for the place value of that 8, we know that the 3 is in the ones, the 2 is in the tens, the 9 is in the hundreds, and the 8 is in the thousands place. If we're trying to look for value, it's how much a digit is worth in a number. So if we're looking at the number 8 now, we want to know how much is that 8 worth. So the value of that 8 is going to be 8,000. So the 8 is in the thousands place. An easy way of thinking is 8 is in the thousands place. I know that the value is going to be that 8,000. And we need to know standard, expanded, and word form. So the example for a standard form is just like a basic number that you would write. So a number written with digits where commas separate every 3 digits, which is also called a period. That separates your hundreds from your thousands, your millions, trillions, and billions. In the expanded form, it's a number written with digits showing the value of each digit. So as an example, they could write 5 million plus 600,000 plus 70,000 plus 8,000 plus 900 plus 20 plus 3. They could also write it as 5 times 1 million. So just being aware there are different ways of showing it. And the word form is writing out that number but in words. And so you're going to actually write out the word 5, the word million, the word 678,923, writing it all out as a word. So those are the 3 different forms that we're going to look at. And to practice, we have different problems that we can go through. The first one says we want to write 2,312,085 in standard form and in expanded form. So we want both of those. They give it to us in word form. So if I'm writing it in standard form, I'm going to use the chart at the very top that has the commas. And I know the first thing I want to look for is the 2 million. So I'm going to put a 2 in the millions place. We want 312,000. So in my thousands, I'm going to write in 312. And the last part is 85. So in my hundreds period, I want to have 85. If I see any blanks, I know I was not given a value for that. So I'm going to put in a 0. So up at the very top, I have just written out in standard form 2,312,085. And below it, we're going to start looking at the expanded form. So expanded form, the easier way to think of it is each piece. You're breaking it apart completely. I have 2 million. There's 2 in the millions place. So 2 million is my first, or could be my first. Doesn't have to be. the next number I'm looking at, I know I have 3 in my 100,000s place, so I'm going to write out 300,000. Plus my next is the 1 is in the 10,000s place. So I have 10,000 plus 2 is in the thousands place. That's 2,000. Plus 8 is in my tens place, that's 80. And 5 is in the ones place, so I have 5. And it doesn't have to be in that order. But that's typically how we would write it, going from your greatest value all the way down to the least value. Next problem. They write it out in expanded form for us. So it says to write 30 million plus 600,000 plus 2,000 plus 70 plus 9 in standard form and in word form. So I always like to start out with standard form first. It's what our brain is used to. It's what we're used to seeing. We're going to write down that we have 30 million. So I'm going to put a 3 in the 10 million spot. We also have 600,000, so I'm going to put a 6 in the 100,000 spot. There's 2,000, so 2 in the 1,000 spot, 70, 7 in the 10 spot, and 9. The rest of it, they didn't give us a value for anything else. So I don't have any hundreds, I'm going to put a 0 in there. It didn't show any 10,000, so I'm going to put a 0 in there. And it didn't show any millions, so I'm going to put a 0 in there. So now we have standard form. And it's easier to go from standard form to word form, at least for me, so that's where I like to start off with. I can see that there's 30,602,079 that I have to write it out in word form. So I would write out the whole thing. 30 million. 600 2,000 79. So we've turned that expanded form into standard form, and we've also done it in word form. And in the next example, we're going to write 5,074,089 in expanded form and in word form. So we were given it in standard form already, which is how you would write it down as a regular number. Already been given that. We want the other two forms. So again, I like to have standard form as a base to start off with if I can. And we can do it in expanded form first. I know the 5 is in the millions place. So I'm going to write down 5 million plus I have a 7 in the 10,000s place, so it's 70,000. Plus there's a 4 in the thousands place, which is 4,000, plus an 8 in the tens place, which is 80, plus 9 in the ones place, which is 9. And the last part they wanted was the word form. So how would you say that number at the very top as a word? I know I would write down 5 million. 74,000. And the last part would be 89. So, writing it out as expanded form and also as word form there. And the next one, I have 3 problems all in one. We're going to use that number at the very top, and we're just going to practice place value versus value. So it's important to know the two of those. So for number 1, I want to know the place value and the value of the 4. So I'm paying attention to the 4. I know that. And I want both the place value and I also want the value. So if I'm looking at the place value, I know I have my 1s, 10s, 100s. Oops, made a mistake there. Let's go back. 1s, 10s, 100s. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000. So the place value of that 4 is the 100,000s. That's the spot where the 4 is at. The value of that 4 is if we were to multiply those two together to see how much is it actually worth, it's actually worth 400,000. So that's the difference between place value and value. Place value, you're looking for the spot it is. It's in the 100,000s place. And the value is the actual value of that number all by itself. So 4 is in the 100,000s place. The value is 400,000. If you want to, you can try out number 2 all by yourself. If you want to pause it, you get some independent work. If not, you keep going along with me. We're going to look at the 2. We want the value and the place value. So I'm paying just attention just to that number 2. What is the place value of that number 2? Okay, so I'm going to help myself out by understanding my periods. This is my 100 period. After my 100 is going to be my thousands period. And then after my thousands period is going to be my millions period. So all 3 numbers in that millions period have to deal with the millions. And I know that the 2 is in the middle, so that would be my 10 millions place. So the place value is 10 millions. The value of it is the 2 in the 10 millions place. So if I have 2 10 millions, I have 20 million. So we just discovered the place value, and we talked about the value. We did it a little bit different way, focusing on the periods this time. And the last one, number 3. Again, if you want to do this on your own, pause it right now, and you can come back and see if we got it right. We're going to jump right into it. I'm going to look at the 3. If I'm looking for its place value, I know it's in the thousands place. So the place value is in the thousands. The value of the 3, well, the 3 is in the thousands place. The value is 3,000. So we're taking all this information that we've learned, and what we want to do is be able to use that to answer a test style question. So the test style question says, which of the following forms show 800 plus 900,000 plus 4,000 plus 50,000 plus 20 plus 4 in word form? So we have to be able to put all this together, and they jumbled it all up. So we have to be able to pick out the biggest parts. So 900,000, I see a 50,000, and I also see a 4,000. So that would be 954,000. I see an 800, a 20, and a 4, so 824. They kind of jumble it all up for us. We have to be able to piece it back together in our head, and then look for the word form of this. So I'm looking for 954,824. I'm looking at my answers. I see 584,294, 594,204, 954,824, which I finally see it in choice C. And the last one, just to double check, is 584,204. So the only one that works would be choice C. Thank you for watching. There are attachment worksheets available for you at the bottom.